So I did get the piston, number 3 piston, to move a little bit, and I was going to stick like a extension down the plug hole and see if I can get the piston to go down, but I don't want to mess up the top of that piston. So what I did, I took a turkey baster and I got out all the old transmission fluid and PB blaster out that plug hole, and I put some Marlboro's mystery oil in there, so maybe that'll free it up. If not, then we'll just have to pull the head off, see what's up with that cylinder. So, but like I said, we'll just let it sit for a couple days and with the Marlboro's mystery oil, and hopefully we can get it freed up, put the rod caps back on, because it's number 3 for sure. Alright, so it's time to get busy on this here Jigsaw 1975, 70 something Honda, Nissan, whatever this thing is. So I've been waiting on the oil pan gasket. Finally got it. It's for a 1.4 Nissan motor, and this box looks very old. Precision engineered. This is oil pan set Nissan 998-117-12. I guess that's the engine CC size, 65 to 82. So they made this motor all the way up to 82. So when I left off on it, I had got it freed up. I took the oil pan off. We got all the rod bearing caps loose. We found that number 3 piston, I think, was stuck. We got it freed up. I sprayed it down with some PB blaster, and it's just been sitting. So I ordered the new oil pan gasket. I got to clean out the oil pan, get all that old oil out, and get the old gasket off, and then I need to go back up under there, find out the torque specs for the rod bearing caps, and get the rod caps back torqued up, tighten, and then put the new oil pan gasket in the oil pan, and then we can put some oil in it, hook the starter up, and spin it over and see if we got any compression. It still looks like it's got some liquid in the plug holes. I should have came back through and sprayed it again, but hopefully those rings are not stuck, and we can build some compression. If we do build compression, we can start looking at firing and a fuel system, and got to go through all them wires and get this thing to crank. So I'm going to go ahead and get this oil pan clean, get the rod bearing caps tight, get the oil pan on, and we'll hook the starter up, and I'll do all that, hook the starter, all that up, and then we'll cut the camera back on when I get ready to do a compression test, because I'm going to have to whirl it over some to get all that liquid rust and water out of there. But be easy for me because I'm going to be running back and forth, and I'll just let y'all see when we get down to the nitty gritty. So here we go. Alright, so oil pan's clean. Got as clean as I can get it, and we got the block clean, we got the rod bearings tight. This is the oil pan gasket. Now this oil pan gasket looks like it's been in this box since the late 70s or early 80s. But it's got the 2 crank, with the crank, the rod, crankshaft, bearing, halves, seals, this box. So anyway, get those on, get the gaskets on, get the oil pan back on, and then we'll be ready to spin this thing. All I gotta get started on it. It still turns over, even though it's been sitting for a couple weeks, which is good. So I was up under there, spiders were coming down from every end. So good thing you guys didn't see that, because I was screaming. But anyway, let me go ahead and get this oil pan on there. We'll move on to something. Alright, so I got another compression gauge here. So let's see what number 1 cylinder's got. The light's kind of reflecting off of it. So hopefully we get something. I'll get over here close. We got 30. That's not good. That tells us the rings are stuck. I hate to have to put more stuff in those cylinders though, because for some reason this plug hole right here, the threads are not good. I remember when I took the plug out. Let's just see what it does. I'm probably gonna have to rethread it. That starter's acting up. That one there is iffy. This was the bad one. Let me see, that starter's sticking. So you can hear it. Either that or it's getting to those teeth that's bad. Because once it kicks out there, it's gone. Okay. Starter's junk. Either that or do I need to put a hand crank on this thing? Feel like I'm getting it. It's kind of hot. Probably gonna have to cool off a little bit. Uh-oh. Might have got this last click. Well, I think I'm gonna have to let that starter cool off. This battery cable is super hot. Oh, there we go. Hanging up. Starter's junk. See the binding? Or it just got too hot. So I'm gonna let this starter cool off. Let me try it one more time. It's kicking out, but it won't. It's hot. Yeah, that starter. I believe I'm gonna have to shim that starter because it's going in too far and it's hanging up. Let me see, can I loosen that 15 millimeter bolt up some. If that don't work, I'm gonna have to just let it cool off. I think the starter's too hot too. I would bring the longest extension I can find. For some reason, I got it shimmed. See it click back in then. It's going to have to be shimmed out, I believe, because it's going in and it's binding. Yeah, I'm gonna have to doctor on this starter, so we'll just let it cool off. And it's getting late anyway, and I'll just get back with it tomorrow. I'm gonna have to pull this starter off, check it, make sure it does spin over right, and I believe I'm gonna have to shim it. They got a washer in behind the starter on one side, and then it was just bolted straight up. So we'll just wait. But we do know it will turn over, and I'll probably dump a little bit more oil in those cylinders and see what help those rings. Alright, so it's the next day. Got the compression tester hooked up. I had to go in and shim that starter because it was kind of grinding the flywheel and it was binding up where it didn't want to turn the motor over. So I just bump started it, and let's see what we got. So this is number 4. I just stuck it in that one because I'm backwards like that. So we got 35, but 50 psi on that one. So the rings are stuck. Hopefully it's the rings. I'm thinking it is because this thing had water in it. Now I kept working with this one here, or is it that one? That one over there, the threads are kind of messed up. That's what we got, almost 30. It's like 25. That's the one that had the cylinder that was locked. So that'll be number 3. I'm gonna have to put my threader back in there because I think the threads are kind of bangled up. Same as the other one, about 25-ish. So I'm gonna have to put some more fluid. I hate to put it in there because you know what happened last time. Start blowing out everywhere, but this is number 1. That one's got 40. So we could put a little fluid in there, bump it over just to see what the compression come back up. Maybe that'll help it. I think I got some PB blasters somewhere. I have to go get some PB blaster. We'll put some PB blaster in there, and maybe that'll help it work. What do I have in the transmission fluid? Got a little bit. Put some transmission fluid in there. I really should have had that throttle block open too. When you do a compression test, you need to have the throttle block wide open. But if we do that now, we probably won't have no compression. So this is a weird looking carburetor. I think the throttle does work. Yeah, it does. Got a lot of trash down in there. Might need to take the vacuum. That choke. That is the most weirdest carburetor I've ever seen. It's moving the throttle, but I can't tell. Yeah, it's opening up. I can't tell if the butterflies are open though. Spitting water out the exhaust. That's it. Oh, it's like a 2-barrel with a secondary throttle. So it's wide open. So let's pour a little. Well, it's like a 4-barrel. You have your secondary throttle and your main throttle flaps. Let's pour just a little bit in there. Not nothing too crazy. It might free it up. Or we might just make a big mess. I've sort of kind of located the engine, but I don't know if I'm going to end up with it yet or not. So look at that. It jumped up there to 150. Let's see what stay. We might have just freed those rings up. So what we'll do, man, I got transmission fluid in here. What I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna go ahead and fill these plug holes up. That one came up, that's because we put fluid in there. Fluid is thicker to go around the rings in the cylinder and kind of coats it to seal. So I'm gonna put a little transmission fluid in each hole and just let it sit, and then I'll come back probably tomorrow, next day, and bump it over then, because now we got all that trash out of the cylinders, all that water and dirt and whatever they had in there, and we got to turn it over. Now it's kind of cleaned up the cylinder walls, so the rings are just still stuck on the piston. So I'm gonna fill those up, let it sit. We'll come back maybe tomorrow and recheck it again. So hopefully we get some better results. Alright, so this is day 2, I believe. I let it soak with some transmission fluid and the cylinders, and I just got to turning it over, let it spray out. So let's do a compression test now and see exactly what we got. Hopefully we can get some compression on this thing. I did straighten out that plug hole. I rethreaded it. I'm gonna stand to the side still because there's still some remnants of fluid. So this will be cylinder 1, I believe. There we go. Now we're starting on that. Got 120 on that one. 120. That's better than what we had before. Before we had, what was it, 30 or 60, something like that. This thing's set up for a long time. We got water in it. Now this is the one I straightened out. So why does it not want to start? Something about this plug hole right here. I straightened it out and stuck the spark plug in there. Just gotta get it straight. So this will be cylinder 2, I'm believing, unless 1 starts here, but we'll just call that 2. Alright, come on starter, hold up for me. We got 65 still on that one, so those rings are still stuck. I'm tired of putting transmission fluid in there and getting sprayed. I tried putting cardboard up there and it's spraying everywhere. I got transmission fluid all on the ceiling in the shop, all on the window, me. So if we can get compression, good compression at least out of 3, this thing will run, and hopefully whichever one is low will come back. So this will be 3. That one's got 65. That was the one that was stuck bad. It could be a stuck valve. Well, even if it's stuck valve, you won't have no compression at all. It's just the rings. So let's see what 4 looks like. Got fluid everywhere. coming up. We almost got 90 on that one. One more time. So we got 90 on that one, and we got 65 on 2 and 3. So hopefully we can get this thing to fire. Next I got to work on the distributor, and because they got wires everywhere. We get this thing to fire, I believe I believe it'll run, and those 2 cylinders in the middle will probably wake up. So I got to get cleaned up. I got transmission fluid all over it. So what I'll do, I might spray just a little PB blaster in there, and then I'll look at this wiring for the distributor, because they got it. There's a wire cut here. That's coming from the distributor. That goes to the coil. So we got a bunch of wires that's cut. They got a fuse box here with some wires, but I'm starting to wonder, did they ever have this thing running? They might have, or they was trying to make it run. The original guy who built it, I don't know. But all right. So let's go back to this one. Let's just try it one more time. This was the one that was stuck. Oh, I'm hitting the button. Still we got, that's not even 65, that's 50. I really would like to get more compression out of those 2. Number 1 woke up real nice. Let's try 2 again. That one's got 60. So those 2 cylinders in the center, 2 and 3, rings are still stuck. Let's go back to number 1 right quick. Got 120 there. So number 1 is the winner. First place. Number 4, second place. So let me get cleaned up, and I might spray just a little bit in there and let it sit, and then retry it before I start messing with the distributor. And maybe it'll wake up some more on those 2 cylinders if I feel like it. We might just send it and see what happens. So I forgot to show y'all, while I was turning it over, it was actually spitting water out of the tailpipe. Rusty water. So that whole exhaust system is completely full of water. It's been pumping it out of there. So this thing has been sitting for a long time with the carburetor open and exhaust. I don't think it leaked in. It got the exhaust rigged up with some hose clamp. No, I couldn't have got in there. So it had to just go straight down the carburetor into the motor. So that's why those rings are stuck. So just a little something I forgot to show. So good news, I went through some of the wires and we got this thing to fire. What I did, I googled the Datsun Pt.2 electrical system for the distributor and came up on how you wire up that distributor. It's just, you got your ignition coil, you got your on and off for your hot, going to the hot side of the coil, and I think you can either have it where it's on all the time, I guess if you're testing it. Then the ground side of the coil goes over to the C, which is marked on the distributor, which means coil, and the distributor grounds itself. So I got this thing firing, and let's see here. Good glue fire too. You see that? So it's got fire. It's got somewhat of compression. So I'm going to straighten out some of these wires. Well, I gotta wire it up. I still don't know. I gotta get the firing order, which it should be 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm gonna get it wired up. I'm thinking about just dumping some gas down in the carburetor. I'm pretty sure the carburetor is gonna have to come apart. It's got this electric fuel pump on here, but the hoses is all dry rotted. That's why I got that clamped off, because it started leaking like a couple weeks ago when I came out here, and it had a big puddle of bad gas. So I guess gravity drew that gas out that fuel line. So I'm gonna have to go back there and drain that tank out. But I want to get the firing order where we can get it to hit off at least. So this is a Datsun Bt.2. Oh, I gotta put the spark plugs back in it. Let me get that. So I'm really feeling like this thing is actually going to run. At least when we get the, I'm going to hook this battery so it won't mess up nothing. We get it running. I'm pretty sure the compression will come back on those other 2 cylinders. I had to go in and straighten number 4 plug hole. The threads were still kind of messed up on it, so I re-threaded it, and now it holds the spark plug. So we get the firing order. Right, we can dump some gas off of this thing. I need to jack the back of it up, but jack the back of it up. Get the wheels off the ground, because I don't know what gear is in. I hate for it to crank up and take off. So I'll just jack it up and put the jack stands up under the rear end. I got a little gas in the gas can. I'm really gonna have to put a fuel system on it, but we might be able to get it to run for a little bit. I don't know. It's gonna take some turning over, because it's got all that oil in the cylinders, so it's gonna have to burn all that off. I go back and straighten all those wires up, make them look decent. I don't know why he put a fuse box on here though. I don't know what this thing started its life as. I mean, it's got this triangle shaped frame base here, and it's got this. I don't know if this was like a Cushman scooter or something. It's a weird. This looks manufactured. It don't look rigged. It looks like maybe this was off a Model A or something. I don't know. But it's got a fuse box and there's no wires going to it. So I don't know if that's left over from whatever it was, what it was. So he's got these marked with silver paint, red paint, pink paint, green paint. So I guess we need to just find number 1. We could, oh sorry, we could rotate it top dead center. Well, I took the piston out, the spark plug out, sorry. Getting kind of tired. Let's see what the file we can do. We're going to do it the lazy way. File in order. So this is saying number 1. Oh, that's not it. That's a 240Z. So there's our distributor there. I don't know if you can see that. That's the exact distributor. That's showing number 1. Opposite side of the clip. So this has got to be 1. They got it labeled 3. I don't know whether to believe this or not. I don't know. Could this be number 1? Looks like it goes 1, 2, 4, 3. Number 1 is L18. So it should be 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So there's your vacuum advance. There, I hope you can see that. So that's showing number 3 will be here. Is that right? No. That's not right. Yeah, that is right. That's number 3. This is number 1. Two will be this one. This is across from 3. And then this would be 4. Actually, this says 4. So I think it was already, except for this wire here, I don't know. They got 3 there. So that's got to be the firing order. It actually goes, what, counterclockwise? So you got 1, 3, 2, 4. Let me look at another one and verify that. '65 to '70. Did they make a '65 model? I'm going to say that's going to be it. So I'm going to let it down, jack up this rear end and get the tires off the ground, and we'll dump a little gas over in there just to see what it'll do, and then I'll worry about the fuel system tomorrow. It's getting late. I wish I had it where I could do YouTube videos every day, all day, but gotta go to work, gotta pay the bills, gotta make money, buy more toys. It's in neutral right now, but I don't trust that. Thing might take off, go through the wall or something. I don't know if the park actually works. Let's see. Well, park does work. So it's in park. So I guess I'll go over there and dump a little gas in the carburetor and we'll see what it does. It's either gonna backfire or something. I know nothing about this carburetor. Probably full. I gotta go get some gas. We'll go get some. So good news, I went through some of the wires and we got this thing to fire. What I did, I googled the Datsun Pt.2 electrical system for the distributor and came up on how you wire up that distributor. It's just, you got your ignition coil, you got your on and off for your hot, going to the hot side of the coil, and I think you can either have it where it's on all the time, I guess if you're testing it. Then the ground side of the coil goes over to the C, which is marked on the distributor, which means coil, and the distributor grounds itself. So I got this thing firing, and let's see here. Good blue fire too. You see that? So it's got fire. It's got somewhat of compression. So I'm going to straighten out some of these wires. Well, I gotta wire it up. I still don't know. I gotta get the fire in order, which it should be 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm gonna get it wired up. I'm thinking about just dumping some gas down in the carburetor. I'm pretty sure the carburetor is gonna have to come apart. It's got this electric fuel pump on here, but the hoses is all dry rotted. That's why I got that clamped off, because it started leaking like a couple weeks ago when I came out here, and it had a big puddle of bad gas. So I guess gravity drew that gas out that fuel line. So I'm gonna have to go back there and drain that tank out. But I want to get the firing order where we can get it to hit off at least. So this is a Datsun Pt.2 Esp. Oh, I gotta put the spark plugs back in it. Let me get that. So I'm really feeling like this thing is actually going to run. At least when we get the, I'm going to hook this battery so it won't mess up nothing. We get it running. I'm pretty sure the compression will come back on those other two cylinders. I had to go in and straighten number 4 plug hole. The threads were still kind of messed up on it, so I re-threaded it, and now it holds the spark plug. So we get the firing order. Right, we can dump some gas off in this thing. I need to jack the back of it up, but jack the back of it up. Get the wheels off the ground, because I don't know what gear is in. I hate for it to crank up and take off. So I'll just jack it up and put the jack stands up under the rear end. I got a little gas in the gas can. I'm really gonna have to put a fuel system on it, but we might be able to get it to run for a little bit. I don't know. It's gonna take some turning over because it's got all that oil in the cylinders, so we're gonna have to burn all that off. I'll go back and straighten all those wires up, make them look decent. I don't know why he put a fuse box on here though. I don't know what this thing started its life as. I mean, it's got this triangle shaped frame base here, and it's got this. I don't know if this was like a Cushman scooter or something. It's a weird, this looks manufactured. It don't look rigged. It looks like maybe this was off a Model A or something. I don't know. But it's got a fuse box and there's no wires going to it. So I don't know if that's left over from whenever it was what it was. So he's got these marked with silver paint, red paint, pink paint, green paint. So I guess we need to just find number 1. We could, oh sorry, we could rotate it top dead center. Well, I took the piston out, the spark plug there down, so getting kind of tired. Let's see what the fire order can do. I'm going to do it the lazy way. So this is saying number 1. Oh, that's not it. That's a 240Z. So there's our distributor there. I don't know if you can see that. That's the exact distributor. That's showing number 1 on the opposite side of the clip. So this has got to be 1. They got it labeled 3. I don't know whether to believe this or not. I don't know. Could this be number 1? Looks like it goes 1, 2, 4, 3. Number 1 is L18. So it should be 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So there's your vacuum advance. There. I hope you can see that. So that's showing number 3 will be here. Is that right? No. It's not right. Yeah, that is right. That's number 3. This is number 1. Two will be this one. This is across from 3. And then this would be 4. Actually, this says 4. So I think it was already, except for this wire here, I don't know, they got 3 there. So that's got to be the firing order. It actually goes, what, counterclockwise? So you got 1, 3, 2, 4. Let me look at another one and verify that. $65 to $70. Did they make a 65 model? I'm going to say that's going to be it. So I'm going to let it down, jack up this rear end and get the tires off the ground, and we'll dump a little gas over in there just to see what it'll do, and then I'll worry about the fuel system tomorrow. It's getting late. I wish I had it where I could do YouTube videos every day, all day, but gotta go to work, gotta pay the bills, gotta make money, buy more toys. It says neutral right now, but I don't trust that. Thing might take off, go through the wall or something. I don't know if the park actually works. Let's see. Well, park does work. So it's in park. So I guess I'll go over there and dump a little gas in the carburetor, and we'll see what it does. It's either gonna backfire or something. I know nothing about this carburetor. Probably full. I gotta go get some gas. Let me go get some. Alright, had to go get some supplies. Trying to crank. I don't know how much gas is in that bowl though. Got some smokage. I was trying to pour it down in these little float bowls. Find something small enough. Found something. Maybe we can fill the bowls up. Hopefully the starter stick with us. Should have brought the grease back. Thinking these are the oh yeah, I see the bowl filling up now. Yes sir. It's got like a little glass on the front. Trying, but the battery getting weak. Alright, we got the boost back. I might have to recheck that timing though. I'm not 100% sure that's the firing on it. It looks like it, but alright. Alright, the timing might be off. I'm gonna recheck that timing. I don't want to get that starter too hot. And now make sure we get it top dead center. Make sure that's where number 1 is, because it's kind of grunting. Just to be safe. That looks like find the timing mark. As soon as I find the ratchet, so we'll put it at top dead center. I know it's hard to see, but I gotta find the timing mark. Well, the balance is so rusty. I don't think I can find the timing mark. I'm gonna have to take the spark plug out. I know I got gas in the float bowl. Smell like gas. Let's see. Number 1 piston. Is that's gotta be number 1 right there. I better unhook this battery. Get electrocuted. That's saying number 1 is there, which that is close. There's a mark on the distributor. That's got to be number 1. I'm going to say that's number 1. I'm going to say that's correct. Close enough. I'm gonna bump it over, make sure the rotation is. See which way the rotation going. So it goes that way. So, just to be sure, make sure, yeah, see it shows that little line right there. I don't know if you can see it. Right where they got that green, that's the number 1 mark. So it goes 1, 2, 4, 3. So we should be A14, A15. So we should be right. That's a strange part to put a number 1 mark. So it goes 1. This is off. This is supposed to be 2. This goes 1. I got 2 and 4 in the wrong spot. 1, 2, 1, 2, 4. 1, 2, 4, and then that should be 3. Okay. So I had 2 and 4 in the wrong spot. That's why I was grunting. Now we're going to see some action. Really should have made sure you had oil pressure. I don't even see the oil pressure sensor nowhere. As long as we hear it hit off, then we. Popping. I hear a vacuum leak too. Sound like I hear a vacuum leak. Nope. Sound like I hear a mean vacuum leak somewhere. Maybe that's just coming out of the carburetor, but sound like a real vacuum leak. Let's see if we still got gas in the flow folder. Looks like it leaked all the gas out. carburetor so dirty. I give it a little bit more tries and then I let that starter cool off because I don't want to burn that starter up. It's already kind of iffy. Nope. So it could be the compression issue you still got on that carburetor. I don't know if the floats are stuck in it. I can hear it popping through the pipe, but it just, starter's getting kind of hot. I hear it popping through the pipe, but it's just not hitting. It's probably trying to burn past all that transmission fluid in there. Let me just dump some gas straight down in the pump in the intake. Got to be going somewhere because the bowl is empty. The catch on fire away. Ooh, we got a lot of. I don't know what that is. Brake cleaner sitting up here. Well, the brake cleaner not even going down. Is the throttle stuck? Almost like the throttle is stuck because it's actually the choke is stuck on. I don't know what the deal is with the other. Look like the gas is sitting right on top of the other throttle plate. You might get something else. Starter's getting hot. I better let that starter cool off. Yeah, she's pretty warm. Yeah, she's hot. Well, I'll let the starter cool off. And I'll put the battery on charge and we'll let it sit for the night. It's trying to hit off. I can hear it popping through the exhaust The carburetor is kind of iffy. I don't know how that carburetor works. It's got two throttle blades at the bottom. When you open it up, one side's not open and one side is, and it's got some kind of weird choke at the top. I don't know. Let me try spraying it one more time, and then that's gonna be it. I'll let that starter cool. We'll get back to it. I don't want to burn it up after I got it working right. So let me make sure it ain't binding. Kind of sound like it's binding a little bit. So let's just let it cool off for the night, and we'll pick up with it the next day again. Alright. Let's give her a shot. I let her sit overnight, let the battery charge up. This next day, after the next day, after the next day. Did it just backfire through the carburetor? That starter needs to be shimmed some more. Let me put the, yeah. That starter needs to be shimmed out probably about a fingernail width from that flywheel. It's dragging and it's going in too far and locking up. So I'm gonna let it cool a little bit. Let me see, can I space this starter out just a little bit from the flywheel, because you can tell it's dragging and it's not kicking all the way back in. It seems like when it wants to crank, the starter's jamming into the flywheel. So let me see if I can find a small washer, stick in there, and we'll retry it again. Alright, I shimmed that starter out a little bit. Let's see what it'll do now. Hopefully we get something. If not, this motor's just gonna have to be tore down or replaced. Those rings on those 2 and 3 cylinders are just stuck to the piston real bad, because I put some more transmission fluid in it last night, and today when I checked it, the top of the pistons were dry. So the rings are probably just so stuck that it's letting the transmission fluid go down the cylinder wall straight into the oil pan. So I don't think she's gonna run, folks. I think the cylinders are not gonna build compression on those two cylinders, on those two pistons. Let's see. Dump some gas down in there. Maybe if I let the choke close up. It hits like it wants to start, but it's only hitting off number 1 and number 4 because they have the most compression. Trying to run off 2 cylinders. One more time. This don't do it. We already know what the next thing is gonna be. Seems like it hits better when the choke is closed, but I don't want to flood it. Maybe that gas will get on those rings too and wash off some of that rust. I think the battery's going now. Get it out of this. Woo! Ooh, that starter's red hot. Well, after what, 3 days of soaking it, and I just think this motor is just not gonna run. I think that, like I was saying, those rings are so stuck. Probably have to pull the pistons out, look at the rings, try and free them up, and stick them back in there. And, I kind of sealed the oil pan up real good, so I'm pretty sure if I take it off, the oil pan gasket is going to rip, and I have to get another oil pan gasket. Plus, I don't know, the rings could be rusted and broke. I could get a bore scope and look down in there and see what the cylinders look like. They could be all scratched up. That's another option. But I do got my eyes on another motor. I think it's going to be a good motor. I just gotta wait to hear back about it. It's actually in a forklift. It's the same motor. It's an A14 Nissan motor. I just gotta wait to get a response on what the deal is on it. So maybe we can get that motor, pull this motor out, stick that motor in, and get this thing running. I would really like to run this thing on propane, but they have already robbed all the propane stuff off of it, like the throttle body, some of the LP hoses that go to the vaporizer and fuel lock off. So basically I'll just be putting this intake on there, unless I can find a LP throttle body for it. It would be nice to run this on propane. We won't have to worry about a fuel pump and all that stuff, but I just don't see it. But it was a good try. I mean, I don't know nothing about this motor, how it ran before they let it sit. It could have already lost compression on those cylinders. Then they just left it without the breather on it, and it rained in the carburetor and froze it up. But starter's red hot. I'm tired of fooling with it, so we'll just bank on getting another motor for it. And if I do get this thing to crank, you know, I'll show y'all, but I don't see it. So let's just let it sit for now. And like I said, let it sit for now, and hope we can get that other motor, because we can do away with this one. So anyway, if y'all like the old Jigsaw Mad Max 3-wheeler, just stay tuned. Well, actually it's a trike. Stay tuned, there'll be more on it. I ain't gave up on it yet. I think it's a unique thing somebody built. I mean, it might be a diamond in the rough, but I would like to get this thing going and actually ride it. I know I gotta do the brakes on it, but I think it'll be something very interesting to ride. So y'all just stay tuned. Like I said, keep an eye on it, and hope y'all are going to have a good weekend coming up. I don't know if I'll have this thing going by then, so hope y'all have a good, pleasant weekend, and leave some comments and thumbs up. And so like I said, check it out, Instagram. Sometimes I put stuff on there before I post it on YouTube, also with Facebook. And go to rpmauto780@yahoo.com if you want to just leave some messages about something you might have for sale or giveaway. You want to buy something. So anyway, that's gonna be it for now. So we'll holler at y'all later. Y'all be safe.